Hello students, welcome to Young Cubs. We've finished the part of endocrine system and today we are going to start with adolescence. What do you understand by the term adolescence? Children, adolescence is a stage or a phase or the years in your life. Okay, like for example, okay, you have infants. Yes, what are the years of infancy? It's 0 to 2 years. Then say from 2 to 6 years or 7 years, or 2 to 6 is more appropriate. 2 to 6 years, you are a baby. Then you become a child. That is from say 6 to 10 or 11. From 11 to 18. Okay, or maybe in 18. Yeah, 18. Okay, you are an adolescent. And then post 18, you are an adult. All right, children. So adolescence or adolescent years is the time when you grow up from a child and become an adult. Okay, it's a phase from being a child to an adult. Look at this picture, children. Here, identify this child, this picture. Okay, she's a baby. No, she's an infant. Looks like 0 to 2 years. Then she's a baby. Here, this little girl is a child. And here, she's a teenager. And your teenage years are your adolescent years. Okay? Now, child to adolescent, a lot of changes happen in your body. And the first change or any change brought about in your body is through your hormones. Okay, they play a very vital role in the growth and functioning of the human reproductive system. Children, in boys and girls, there are the reproductive set of organs are always there. What are the reproductive set of organs in a child or in a male? In a man, in a child, a male child, okay, the set of reproductive organs are the testes. Okay, and in a female, what are they? The ovaries. Yes. Okay, together the testis and the ovary are known as gonads. GONADS. Okay. Okay, so they are there right from the time a child is born. But there is an activation period, or I could say that they are fully developed, or in other words, they become capable of reproduction only during the period of adolescence. Understand? Things are already present. Everything is already given right from birth. However, there is an activation period, a period or a time when they mature. They're immaturely present, but there is a time when they mature. Okay, and that time is they mature during the adolescent period. Okay, a lot of changes go through a child's body, and that's the reason why you will see a lot of different changes in terms of their mood swings, in terms of their emotional aspect, where they go through, you know, emotional turmoils, their bodily changes. They're most of the time irritable. So you will see a child struggling with his body, struggling with his mind, struggling emotionally, maximum at this period. They are conscious of their looks. They are, you know, they're unnecessary, or not unnecessary, but there are a lot of secretions. They get conscious with their looks. Everything happens during this adolescent phase. Children, the word adolescence, okay, adolescence comes from a Latin word. It is a Latin word which means to grow up. And that is the reason why our body releases the growth stimulating hormones at its peak during this adolescent period. Remember, we did this earlier. Pituitary gland releases the growth secreting hormones, growth stimulating hormones. Now, attached to this term adolescence comes another term known as puberty. Okay, puberty is the period when the sex organs, that is the testes and the ovaries, become really active. Okay, the testes starts releasing sperms. Okay, and the ovaries start releasing ova, which is nothing but the eggs. Okay, and this indicates that a person is becoming capable of producing children. So once the body is ready, or once the body is good to go for a reproduction, that is known as puberty. The onset of, you know, a child, onset of reproductive system. Okay, or once it starts releasing sperms and ova, okay, is when the child or the adolescent has attained puberty. So adolescence in children, or adolescence, starts from the age of 10 or 11. However, from 10 or 11, not necessarily a girl may menstruate, or may get her will start with her menstrual cycle. Okay, it is a physically it is the years are defined. However, a girl may get her periods from the age of 12 or 13. Her adolescence has started from 10 or 11, but she may start getting her periods from 12 or 13. That's when she has attained puberty. All right, let's look at this differentiation chart here. Okay, see, it says it is a period between 10 to 19 years of age in an individual's life. And what is puberty? It is a period during which the reproductive system of boys and girls mature. This adolescent is more of the actual age. Okay, it is more related to the age, and puberty is more related to the bodily body changes. Okay, so it in puberty, okay, adolescence is a general term. Okay, whereas puberty is very specific to every individual. Okay, a girl may get her first periods when she's 11, she may get it when she's 14. So it's very specific to each body. In boys, puberty may normally be attained between 11 to 12 years, and in boys, it is between 13 to 14 years. During puberty, children, there are a lot of changes that a child undergoes or an adolescent undergoes. Okay, and these changes could be physical changes, it could be mental changes, emotional changes, and psychological changes. Okay, so the first change in an adolescent, okay, is noticed that what is noticed is increase in their height. Okay, they grow, they really grow tall. Okay, and it is a conspicuous change during this period. It is a huge change during this period. Why is this change? What is the reasons? The reason is the bones of their limbs, or can I say hands, arms and legs, their arms and legs elongate. Yes, why this increase in height? Because the bones of their arms and legs elongate and make them tall. Okay, the weight or the body weight also increases. Their body weight increases and their shape and structure also changes. Okay, so look at a boy. Now this normally, let me take this one. Okay, so the shoulders of the boys normally become wider, whereas a girl acquires a more curvy figure when she grows up or when she is in her adolescence. This change is due to the enlargement of the hip bone. Yes. Then the growth in muscles. You normally see boys flaunting their muscles. And in girls, basically, there's no prominent growth in muscles. Then, the next thing in physical changes is the change in voice. Okay, the voice of a boy becomes deeper, becomes low pitch. Somebody like Amitabh Bachchan having a heavy voice. Okay, and in girls it becomes more shrill, it becomes thin, it becomes high pitched. Children, what is low pitch, what is high pitch? You must have done in physics in sound, the chapter sound. However, the larynx or the voice box begins to grow larger in boys, and that's the reason why they get a deeper voice, a heavier voice. Okay, and no such change basically happens in girls, so their voice changes or their changes to a higher pitch. Okay, and you will also you may observe in the 7th and the 8th grade where suddenly a squeaky childlike voice becoming like a heavy voice, and the girls tend to scream a little more, and their voice hurts in your ears. So that's how the girls voice changes. Okay, this is basically, again reiterating, this is basically due to the muscles of their growing voice box that develop to a large extent, changing their voice into hoarse. Okay, this situation remains for a very brief period, say for a year or so, or for just a few months, and after which the voice becomes normal and the hoarse and the deep voice tends to take over, because already the larynx have enlarged, the muscles are grown. Okay, and then everything's normal. You even hear the boy's voice cracking. When they talk, in the middle you suddenly feel that their voice has lost, and they've cracked up and spoken. All right, So everything, all the voice changes barely for 6 months to 1 year, not a very long period as compared to 11 to 18 years of age. Then comes the physical change in the oil glands and the sweat glands. Okay, oil glands secrete a liquid oily secretion called, actual name is called sebum. Now what is the sebum? It's a mixture of oil and wax. Why is this secreted? It protects the skin, forms a waterproof and lubricating layer on the skin. Okay, whereas sweat glands widen. Okay, and that's basically what a lot of changes happening in the body. So a lot of temperature rise. So to maintain the body temperature, okay, the sweat glands secrete a lot of sweat so that the body remains cool. The body temperature is is normal. Okay, and another thing, at this age children eat a lot of junk and everything, so there's a lot of fat accumulation, and due to which a lot of it eliminates. It's right, the sweat glands is a part of the excretory system, so it gives out a lot of waste products in terms of water and in terms of sweat. So secretions are good in the required amounts, like whatever is the amount, but over and excessive secretions can cause skin problems. All right, children develop a lot of, not children but adolescents tend to get pimples and acne at this particular age if there is sebum secretion excessively. Then the next change, the next physical change is the development of sex organs. Combined, it is known as gonads. In females, it is the ovary, and in males, it is the testis. Okay, combine the ovary and the testis are known as gonads. So in females during adolescence, the development of ovary takes place, production of ova takes place. Remember children, I told you that everything is present right from childhood. They only mature later. This adolescent period is the period of maturation of the sex organs or the reproductive organs. So girls' ovaries develop. They are capable now to produce ova. Simple, ova is nothing but egg cells, female egg cells. And in boys there's a development of their testes. Okay, and now the testes are can prepare or are capable to prepare sperms. All right. Now when the ovaries develop, okay, there is secretion of this hormone known as estrogen. Okay, the secretion happens on the command of the pituitary gland. Okay, this is in females. Okay, estrogen is secreted in females. Okay, and in males there's secretion of testosterone. Okay, again this happens on the command of pituitary gland. Remember in endocrine system, when we did pituitary gland, we spoke about how it regulates a lot of other hormones in the body. So command coming from the brain, from under the brain, okay, which is the pituitary gland. It on the command, it starts secreting these what is it, FSH, follicle stimulating hormones. When these FSH, okay, when the estrogen is secreted from the females, what happens? Okay, the process of releasing ova from the ovaries. Okay, the eggs that are already present in the ovaries start, okay, coming. Let me take another color. Okay, they start ovulating, and ovulating means they start releasing. It starts releasing the ova from the ovaries. Okay, the moment the the um, the ovaries start getting released, the moment the ova starts getting released from the ovaries, that period is known as puberty, and it is known as menarche. See, puberty is, they've attained puberty, they've attained a phase in life, but the onset, yes, now this is the first release, of the ova. Okay, that is known as menarche. Okay, the female body is the most fertilized at menarche. It's the first new egg coming out of the first new ova coming out of the body. That's menarche. Okay, once a girl attains puberty, okay, she releases the ova, and the release of the ova is known as menarche. The first release of the ova is known as menarche. Okay, and during the entire lifespan. Okay, see, so if a girl attains puberty from anywhere between 12 to 14 years, okay, that means she's ovulating. Okay, as many eggs produced, okay, the period when she is she is releasing the ova, the entire span is known as ovulation. All right, children. Okay, so onset of release of ova is menarche. Stopping of ovas got over in the body, now no more ovas being released in the body, is known as menopause. And menopause is attained anywhere between 45 to 50 years of age of a woman. But the entire period from 12 to 14 years to 45 to 50 years, okay, that entire period when each month an ova is being released from the ovary, that entire period is known as ovulation. She ovulates. All right. So now what happens during ovulation? So the egg comes out. Okay, this is the same egg. Okay, it comes out. Okay, it moves down. Okay, it further moves down. This is the fallopian tube. Okay, it moves down and it settles, or it stands in the uterus. Okay, now it stands in the uterus. Stands for what? Stands waiting for a male sperm to come in. So the moment a male sperm enters, okay, the two of them unite. Okay, become one cell. Okay, and this process is known as fertilization. So when a female ova, okay, unites, okay, with a male sperm, okay, it forms one complete cell, one single cell. It fuses, okay, and this becomes one cell. Okay, one cell. It's a mixture of a female and a male cell. So this mixture or this fusion is known as fertilization. Okay, so if the egg, it's the female egg, see this, it's the ova, this ova is waiting in the uterus. The moment it waits in the uterus, do you see this? Okay, this is the endometrium. Okay, the endometrium lining thickens. Okay, you never know, there may be a sperm entering a female body, and that's when the actual role of the endometrium starts. Now, as I told you, if fertilization takes place, see this, okay, what is formed? A zygote is formed. Okay, if fertilization takes place, a zygote is formed. Zygote is nothing but a fusion of the male sperm and the female ova. What if no fertilization occurs? Okay, the egg, the female ova, okay, keeps standing over here. It waits for a certain time. Okay, and then eventually what it does is it has no other choice but to move out of the body, okay, along with the endometrium layer. See, that's the endometrial layer, nothing but with the blood that we see, when a female is in her periods, or in her when the whole cycle is not coming, when after the whole cycle, okay, when no fertilization takes place. Okay, so what did we learn? If no fertilization takes place, first of all, the ova comes out of the ovaries, okay, waits for the male sperm, okay, endometrium develops, but after a wait time, what happens is it moves out of the body, and the endometrium layer also collapses, and a girl gets her periods. Okay, but if it once this is released, once the egg comes out of the ovaries, okay, it waits once it waits for a male sperm. Once the male sperm comes into a female body, the ova and the sperm unite and get embedded into the endometrium. See this thick red color layer here? It gets embedded. They fix themselves into the endometrium. Look here, children. Here the ova, okay, did not receive a male sperm. It, along with this layer, okay, it moves out of the female body. So this entire period, okay, takes around 28 to 30 days. What happens in this 28 to 30 days? First, ova is released from the ovary. Second, this ova enters the uterus and waits for the male sperm. Third, if no fertilization takes place, the egg is flushed out along with the endometrium there out of the body, and again, okay, this period here, okay, again a new egg will prepare to come out and wait for another male cell or a male sperm in the uterus. So this entire period, in this entire cycle, this again then moves the same way again. So this happens every month in a female body, and this entire cycle is of anywhere between 28 to 30 days. Now this cycle is known as the menstrual cycle, or known as menstruation. Okay, it is and when this, look at this phase, children, okay, this phase, okay, here when the endometrium and the egg move out of the female body, it's the bleeding phase, and it is somewhere between 4 to 5 days normally in a female. Okay, along with the blood that comes out. Okay, there are other menstrual fluids as well. There is the unfertilized ovum, then the cells of the endometrium, and the blood. So there are three things coming out which constitute the menstrual cycle or menstrual fluid. Well, that's all for today, children. Thank you and God bless you all.